Hello, welcome to week 4. This week we're going to just give you a short video on how you're going to put together your rain stick. So you'll need tin foil, which you have 4 sheets. You really only need 3. I gave you 1 extra in case you make a mistake. You'll definitely need the legumes, or the beans as I'm calling them, and you need 2 of these. You should have those. If you don't have them, let us know. We can get them to you. So and you're also probably going to need either tape or glue. 2 things that you'll be using. Now, I recommend that we may use drumsticks to push it in with. We used to use the regular sticks. So you already have the drumsticks. So let's go ahead and get started. So Hannah's we're going to work on this. So the first thing we have to do is roll up 3 of these pieces here. So you're going to need a fairly long area. You can do it on the floor, or ours is a fairly short table. So, but you don't have to have it all on the table. So I'll start scrunching it, and Hannah can finish on her end. So we're going to scrunch this up just like this, turning the whole thing. You don't want to go too tight with it yet. We'll work on that later. So you can see we're just rolling it in. And you can start from one end and go to the other, but you want to do it, if you're doing it by yourself, you want to start at one end and go to the other end. This looks really long, but once you start to braid it, so you're just going to kind of leave it like this for now. That's one of them. And you can see it's pretty long. So let's go ahead, we're going to put that one aside and we'll do another one. So we'll start another one here. There's lots of ways we could have done this. You could have used a piece of PVC pipe and drilled holes and put toothpicks. You could have put toothpicks through this mailing tube if you'd like. That's a lot of work. You could have driven nails in a piece of bamboo. So you could also use bamboo on this. So there's our second piece. We got one more, and then we'll just start working on the braid. So I'm going to let Hannah do this one. As she's doing it, she's going to roll it and go work her way down to this end. Because 2 of us were doing this before. And then she'll go back to the other end. And now you would go back and squeeze on it a little bit. So now we're going to look at, let's put this other, and put your extra one aside. Yours it doesn't make any difference that it's all crinkly. It's because it was crinkly because of the way we were doing it. So now what we're going to do is start the braid from a thin end. And what we kind of want to do, I'll let Hannah work on this. Let me get this here. So make sure that they're all kind of scrunched up the same. Look at all of them. So what I usually do is start going like this. Look down at the table. Start with 2 here, okay? And what you're going to do is go back and forth here. So you're wrapping one over the other and then wrap another one. See what I'm doing? So you're kind of having something looking like this. You wrap another one over, put it in the middle of that one. This one goes right in the middle. So again, we have this one here now. See how this one is? You take this one, go over top of that one, and then you keep going down. Sort of like braiding hair, but not exactly like it. That one goes in there. And make sure that 2 of them will be lapped over this. So make sure you do that. Go back again. I'll go ahead and let Hannah do some here. And we can still scrunch it up as we're going. Make sure it's there, then this one goes back over that. Okay, now that's over there, so then you would bring this one over to... Doesn't have to be perfect even if you don't get it. So it's like braiding your hair. So now we kind of have this. If you're seeing how this is here, and we'll make sure it's braided all the way to the end. So now you kind of have this braid. It looks like this.
What do you do with this stuff?
We're going to cut. That's why I had the scissors. So now you're going to look at your tube. Here's your tube. I have an end on here. I'll go ahead and take this end off. The end seems pretty hard to get off, but I guarantee you. Then you kind of stick this in your tube. See what I'm doing? I'm pushing it in. And I've just pushed it in my tube like this. It's going to come out the other end. You can kind of make it a little like this. So here's when we start putting the whole thing together. You've got it in the tube, okay? So what you can do now, this is fairly tight. I'm going to go back and loosen this braid up so it's a little tighter so that it will flow through all of the braid rather than just some of the braid. You can put it in tight. It won't make that much of a difference. I've just loosened it up a little bit so it fits kind of tighter in here. Oh, there's paper in this one. See how it's going in tighter now? That's really what you want. So you can just loosen your braid up a little. It's going to be longer than you need. So I'm going to loosen this up even a little bit more on this end. All right? So that's what it looks like in the end, and it pushed its way out. Now what you're going to do is either by using glue like this or tape, or you can even use a glue stick if you have a glue stick. You can use either or. We're going to make sure that we put glue. We're going to put glue on our end here. I'm just going to put some glue here. If you don't have glue, I'm also going to tape on the outside. So I'm just putting glue around here. This way, once we've put the beans in, it's not going to come apart on you. So then you push this in like this. And then if you didn't have glue, what you could do is run some tape across here or make it go around. I'm just running a little bit of tape across the top. You could run a piece of tape across the top like that. All right. Then what you could do is take your scissors. If you're running tape like that, take your scissors and cut this right here, and then just push that tape down like that. And you can do that all the way around if you don't have any glue. Now on this end, all I'm going to do is cut this off with a pair of scissors right here. All right, now Hannah's going to show you something. If you have a funnel, you can use a funnel on this, or you can make, Hannah's going to get her piece of paper, you can make your own funnel, or you could even just pour the beans from this. What she's doing, let me move this here. What she's doing is wrapping up a piece of paper, and what you would do is take a little piece of tape and just put it on this end. And then you have made a funnel for the seeds to go in. All right? So you see what we've got here? Either that or you can use the regular funnel that I showed you.
Right here.
Either way, or you could take, where is that cup, the cup down there, the shaker. You could take a small cup like this, put beans in it. That would be easier to pour in here. See what I'm saying? You could either do that. We're going to do ours like this. And we're going to experiment. We're not going to pour all these beans in. We don't, if you put too many in, it doesn't really work. So I'm just going to stand this up by Hannah. She's going to pour some in there. She's going to put maybe half. You can hold up now, Hannah, so let's try it. And you're going to get seeds around like we did. We'll pick them up in a second. So we're going to put more seeds in. That wasn't quite enough. Let us go ahead and we'll do probably what you're going to do. We'll pick up these beans that are on the table. We forgot that we had it in the funnel. We're going to go back to the regular funnel. That is easier. So I'm going to go ahead and then I'm going to drag these down to that funnel here. You can't see where, whoops. Let's put a little more. Hannah can put it up. So if you have a regular funnel, it's easier. Put your funnel right here. We're going to put more of these beans in. That's sounding like one more little bit. I'm not gluing this in because I might have to take it off when we go live. So now it's in here. You should be able to hear it. So we're going to go ahead now and show you how, if your drawing is done, this is the last thing you'll do. So remember we had our drawing here. Let me clear some stuff around. So what you're going to want to do is kind of even this out, and you can just kind of gauge it. If you have your ruler, where's that ruler, Hannah? You could, if you have a ruler, you can take it from one end. So this end right now is about 4 inches. We're pretty good. So what I'm doing is putting in the part of Hannah's extra drawing here. Now, I would suggest doing this. If you have the tape, this will get you going, even if you don't have glue. I'm going to tape this down here, and we'll bring it up so you can see what we're doing. We're taping this down so it's kind of tight. If you had a glue stick, you could put the glue stick down here like this. Stick that down on where the glue stick was. Okay? If you have glue, let's just start, we have the glue stick first, then we'll put glue on the next part. So if you had a glue stick, I would just run it right along here like this. And then you start rolling this up. If you have glue, then what I would do is put a little glue here. See where I'm putting the glue? And down here. I'm just putting it all over the bottom. If you have a glue stick, you can use that. If you haven't used a glue stick, you'll just pull it and tape it on the other end with the tape. So the same way here, you just kind of roll this up. And you want a lot of glue on this end if you're using glue, because otherwise it's going to come apart on you. You notice how much glue I put on there? And then for extra measure, I'm probably going to tape it. You could just, the glue would work. If you didn't have glue, and I'll go ahead and do it, if you didn't have glue or the glue stick, you would take a piece of Scotch tape, clear, and just put on that seam. It might not be a bad idea to do that anyway. She's cutting off the end of it that has a little bit of So there you go. You got both ends on it. Now, you can put tape on this. When we come back, when we're live, I'll show you, we'll have some tape and we'll put on this. And we'll also, we've got this, so we can kind of show you how to do the braids if you're having an issue. All right, so we'll see you at 2 o'clock today. So this is going to be putting the range sticks together. So see you then.